Since the election, we've seen more than 10 million US users join Bluesky, and it's been very exciting for us. We have so many new people coming to the platform, and what they care about is, are we having fun? Are we making friends again? And do we feel safe? And so that is what the team is focused on.
Hi everyone, JJ here. Welcome back. Well, Twitter, like social network Bluesky, is continuing to grow fast following the US election of Donald Trump with the help of Elon Musk, of course, in a big way. So many users are leaving X. It's kind of the last straw for a lot of people, so people are flocking to Bluesky. It's growing fast. I've already done one video about this. I reacted to an interview with the CEO last time, and this time I've got an interview with the COO talking about how they're operating things over there, how they're handling the growth, and their philosophy of how they run the social network. So I'll react to some of that interview and we'll get to that soon. They are pretty open at Bluesky. As I said in the previous video, you can see the user data, how many people are joining the site in real time, and I'll put that counter on the screen to show how many people are joining. Since last time, it's well over 20 million now, which is small compared to X still, but it is growing. It's going to be fascinating to see how big it will grow if they can maintain the momentum. Now, as I said in the last video as well, Elon Musk is not liking the growth of Bluesky, or he's pretending that it's okay, but he's obviously fuming about it. And somebody says here, Elon Musk is giving big Draco Malfoy placed in charge of the inquisitorial squad by Professor Umbridge energy these days, referring to Bluesky and just what he's doing over there on X. A lot of people are leaving. Journalists, scientists, educators have been leaving X because of what it's like over there, just the bad feeling over there compared to Bluesky. And here we see a headline about the exodus. Users flee from Elon Musk's X. 60,000 people deactivated their X accounts on average each day in 1 week alone. So that's deactivating accounts. It's not keeping X and going over to Bluesky and using both. A lot of people have actually deactivated their accounts over there, not using it anymore. That's quite a statement. And it says the exodus continues after Elon Musk's failure to combat misinformation and extremism on X, formerly Twitter. Users are continuing to leave the social media platform in a mass exodus. X has definitely changed on there. You get a lot of bad replies or sort of rude replies even when you're trying to do educational work or information-based work. There are a lot of trolls on there who jump in on anything. Now, it comes after The Guardian announced it would no longer be posting on X. The US presidential election campaign served only to underline what we have considered for a long time, that X is a toxic media platform and that its owner, Elon Musk, has been able to use its influence to shape political discourse, referring to the propaganda that he put forth leading up to the election, which was successful, funding Trump's campaign and it being successful, really using the platform for his own megaphone. A lot of people did not like that, and I do think that's part of the exodus of people moving over to Bluesky and I guess to Threads as well. Now let's take a look at the interview with Rose, the COO of Bluesky, and I'll react to it.
Let's just dig in, Rose, a little bit as to what it's been like since the election. How have you found Bluesky, the numbers racking up of people using it, how your infrastructure has been slightly taxed?
Thanks for having me, Caroline. Since the election, we've seen more than 10 million US users join Bluesky, and it's been very exciting for us because up until now we've seen global growth from Japan in February, from Brazil in April and August, and now we're seeing the growth happening in the US, UK, Canada, because I think people are tired of a platform that controls what they see, and they don't like a platform that's partisan.
Now, if you're getting value out of this episode so far, I'd really appreciate it if you remember to hit that like button to help the algorithm to spread it to more people, and do subscribe as well if you aren't yet and you want to get more of this kind of content from me in the near future. And as I said in the last video, Elon Musk is not liking it, being rude about it too. See here, Blue Cry, aka Pedo Sky. I don't know why he uses that all the time. Seems a bit obsessed with saying that. And he was talking about celebrities going over there who was being rude about Ben Stiller moving on to Blue Sky. I've seen him over there. I use the platform myself. He is on there regularly talking about Severance and the projects he's doing. He seems to be pretty keen on sport as well. On the pedo guy thing, I'll point you to this podcast episode again, where this investigative journalist investigated Elon's spies, how Elon hired private investigators to try and investigate that guy in Thailand and came up with nothing and pretty much ruined his life for a time investigating him and came up with nothing. It was ridiculous. And he doubled down on it on social media. One of the worst things that you can say about somebody on social media with no founding, no basis whatsoever.
You're having to think about moderation. You're having to think about trust and safety. In fact, some of the money, the $15 million raise, was earmarked for that. Rose, how are you managing to crack down on content that you don't want to see on the platform?
I think it's important that you just put trust and safety as a priority. Most social media platforms put growth ahead of trust and safety is just something that they have to do. It's a checkbox. That's totally different on Blue Sky. When you have a network that's run by two women who've been on the internet for decades and experienced the internet as women, we've prioritized safety. What does that look like? It looks like we had invite codes last year because we weren't ready to open up a network before we had a moderation team. The other way that we've thought about moderation is we thought about it in terms of stackable moderation, which only the parent or the central company only has a certain amount of controls that they can go do to help diverse communities. And central authorities tend to act very slowly. And like I said, there's so much information between toxic misinformation or hate speech and things that make people unhappy on social. And so what we've done is give those controls back to users so they can either go label rude posts, speculative information, and other users can subscribe to those labels and not wait for us to make those decisions. And that's what we mean by opening up social and making it more democratic, where you don't have to wait for us, you can build.
So that was interesting hearing about their moderation, their position on that. Of course, over at X, Elon says it's free speech, it's not moderation, but there is quite a lot of censorship, even to the point where if you say cisgender, a word that he doesn't like, it kind of gets censored, but other things are okay. He got rid of the moderation team, and what she's saying here is that users can take control of it a bit more. Also, she said about the leaders of the company there too, women who've had experience in social media for many years, and what can go on there very different from men's experience, so they are governed by that to a certain extent. It's really good to see, because on other social networks it's not so much like that. Definitely not on X and even on Meta with Zuckerberg. And just this recently about X revealed the operators behind 4 major neo-Nazi X accounts. And this is from the Texas Observer, where Elon Musk now lives in Texas. So really in his local community. Now, it says under owner Elon Musk, the social media site X, formerly known as Twitter, has become a hotbed of white supremacist and neo-Nazi content. The recent headline in The Atlantic doesn't mince words. X is a white supremacist site. Musk has allowed formerly banned far-right and neo-Nazi accounts back on the platform. And in some instances, he's directly responded to accounts that traffic in white supremacist and neo-Nazi rhetoric, although he doesn't like people using the word cisgender and has that censored whenever it's used. So these two things going on. He's pretty hypocritical about what's allowed and what's not allowed. Freedom of speech, he says, but not freedom of reach. Meanwhile, anonymous accounts that regularly promote racial hate on the platform has seen their follow accounts grow substantially as Musk has taken a more hands-off approach to moderation compared to the social media network's prior owners.
You have benefited, as Caroline pointed out, from the election, from I think a lot of people leaving X. They're no longer feeling like they are getting what they want from X. It's kind of created this label of Blue Sky as you know, the anti-Elon network or maybe a more left-leaning network. How do you feel about that label? Do you feel like that's sort of what you're going for, or is that just people sort of projecting onto you guys?
I think that there's always a reaction when something happens, an event, but we'll see the narrative change over time because, like I said, beforehand, we've had Japanese users, Brazilian users, Korean users, people from all over the world come to Blue Sky. So to say that it's a US-centric, left-leaning app is not correct. We're also not building an app for one voice or one type of political viewpoint. What we've built is an open infrastructure for any person who has interesting viewpoints, who wants to have engaging conversation, to come to Bluesky and then go build their own space, whether that's their own feed or their own political labeler that users can subscribe to either turn off political content or to turn it back on, depending on their mood.
Okay, the CEO talked about this too. She said that it's like a hotel where you go into the foyer when you first get there, and there are different rooms, and you can build different rooms on there. Developers can come in and users can come in and build different things onto what's already there. But as for being non-partisan, that's maybe what they want there, but definitely because of the people leaving X, as I said, it tends to be more left-leaning. I saw a professor doing a YouTube video the other day where he did a survey about this, asking lots of questions, and it did seem to be more left-leaning over there. And of course, right-wing people have been complaining about that as they've come from X and had a look. So as it grows, it may not be more like that. It might be more evened out over time. As she said, they're looking to be global. They're looking to be for everyone, an open space, but also a safe space. So we'll have to see how it works out. Meanwhile, in the journal Nature, this headline, a place of joy. Why scientists are joining the rush to Bluesky. Researchers say the social media platform, an alternative to X, offers more control over the content they see and the people they engage with. It says researchers are flocking to the social media platform Bluesky, hoping to recreate the good old days of Twitter. All the academics have suddenly migrated to Bluesky, says Bethan Davies, a glaciologist at Newcastle University in UK. The platform has absolutely exploded, and it has been exploding in numbers, as you can see. In the 2 weeks since the US presidential election, the platform has grown from close to 14 million users to nearly 21 million. And there's way more than that now. As you can see, Bluesky has broad appeal in large part because it looks and feels a lot like X, formerly known as Twitter, which became hugely popular with scientists who use it to share research findings, collaborate, and network. One estimate suggests that at least 500,000 researchers had Twitter profiles in 2022, and now they're migrating, looking for somewhere else to go, and Bluesky is there. And talking about migrating from X to Bluesky, I found out about this tool today. Migrate your tweets to Bluesky in a few clicks. It's Blue Migrate, but I haven't tried this one because I want to start fresh over there. So if you use this, let me know what you think of it.
We're also launching subscriptions at the end of this year because we see so many people who want to support us, and we want to give users tools to help them self-express more. So that's like more custom icons, longer video uploads, but we would never put speech behind a paywall. So nothing that is a core functionality you would have to pay for.
Okay, a few interesting things there too. She said that the core functionality that you won't have to pay for, again, like X, you're paying for reach over there in different levels. You really don't get much reach at all. Freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. And she's saying they won't have that there, but they're thinking about subscription. I have seen an article on TechCrunch where the CEO is not ruling out advertising at some point as they scale. You could see that they've got to make money at some point. If they can't make it through subscription, obviously Elon's trying to do that through subscriptions over at X, but he's told the advertisers to F off, so he's really got no choice at this point with so many advertisers leaving. But Bluesky looks like it's going to be different. We'll leave the interview there. Let me know in the comments what you think about what she said. Do you have any comments about the moderation or the way they're positioning the platform, the way that they want it to be not partisan, but also safe and open? Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Now, if you do want to join me on Bluesky, I am using it. This is my profile over there, The Art of Value. See you over there if you decide to go over there and check it out. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to put a related episode on screen, the previous one about Bluesky, and also a link to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Do subscribe if you want to get more of this kind of thing from me in the future. And thanks to everybody for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.